Hey gamers, welcome to the channel. Ever wanted to find a love in a video game that really feels like you? Stick around as we dive into games with inclusive and diverse romance options, giving you a truly unique and unforgettable experience.
I saved you. And I'm here to save you again.
Baldur's Gate 3's release has been nothing short of a massive success, with players being able to experience one of the greatest RPGs ever made in the modern era. The game gives players a lot of freedom in both character creation and romance options. Anyone can be romanced out of the 6 major characters.
It blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
While 6 isn't much to choose from, it's still nice to know these options aren't limited to gender. A system of approval and disapproval will instead determine whether companions will fall in love with the player's character. The romance scenes might be cheesy, but anyone who's a sucker for it will appreciate it.
In mere moments, all that you have dreaded will come to pass.
I'll miss you.
Most people would agree that Telltale's The Walking Dead experienced a major high that later seasons have been chasing ever since. The 2 games that followed this emotional story felt lacking in some ways, with the absence of a proper hub and truncated gameplay elements making these titles feel inferior to the title, which made players fall in love with Lee and Clementine's story.
We gonna do it? We're doing it.
So, fans were glad to see the final season take things in a bold direction, giving more structure to a series that had lacked the same ever since. The players love how AJ and Clementine elicit a lot of what made Lee's bond with the protagonist so magical, while also retaining an original flair because of the child's lack of knowledge when it comes to a world before the apocalypse. Clementine herself gets a lot of time to shine, with both Violet and Lewis being interesting characters that can potentially transform into romances if the player wishes.
Everybody dies. It's not really up to us anymore.
You don't understand. I'm trying to protect you! Test of a person's true value. Death.
There were high hopes for Cyberpunk 2077, and after the initial storm of the release was over, the game turned things around for itself with a steady stream of patches and content additions. That being said, it delivered by giving players romance options that would cater to both same-gender and different-gender romances.
You find out what it is you need to do.
Male verses can either romance Carrie Eurodyne or Panem Palmer, while female verses have the choice between Judy Alvarez or River Ward. On top of that, some Joy Toys can be romanced, with Meredith Stout being a bisexual side romance. While there could be more romances, the depth of these stories is what makes them good and high quality. Hopefully, DLX will bring in more inclusive romance options.
Love you, Mom.
You seeing what I'm seeing?
Mom?
The fact that Tell Me Why is the first game to feature a trans person in a lead role is a great piece of news that goes to show how far representation has come in video games. However, this also comes with a huge asterisk, especially since many people are disappointed that it took so long for a trans person to finally be included in a game in a lead role.
Sister, we look out for each other.
It doesn't matter that finding the truth.
Hopefully, more games will take a page out of Tell Me Why and be more inclusive when it comes to the characters in their video games. Throughout this game's narrative, Tyler, the protagonist, can share an intimate moment with his twin sister's friend, Michael. It's a fun relationship that players can see blossom throughout the game's 3 episodes through playful flirting until it evolves into something special, if the player wishes, that is.
I can't do this. Stop!
Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 are especially great games when it comes to inclusive romance. The player is free to choose the gender of Commander Shepard, and from there on, they have a few different romantic options. While some are exclusive to a certain gender, there are a few more that are open to both genders. The cool part about Mass Effect Romance is that, unlike most sci-fi game titles, it allows for romance between humans and other humanoid species. The human cast itself is also diverse, which is what makes this futuristic game feel so real and immersive. Although Andromeda was generally not well received, it continues in the line of highly inclusive romance.
You were born to do this.
Double pick-a-bobble.
It's odd to see the developer behind Fury working on a title like Haven, which is more laid back and story-driven than what the game bakers became famous for. Haven's passionate tale is one of romance and acceptance, so it was rather ironic that the game only featured a traditional romance back when it launched.
I don't think that's the mom.
Go!
Thankfully, a later update added a much-needed feature where players choose the genders of the two people involved in this romance at the start. This promotion of inclusivity helped the game resonate more with the masses and was a positive change in every way that fans appreciated.
Everything can change in an instant, whether or not you're ready.
The tale of Fallout 4 might start quite traditionally, with the main character witnessing the death of their significant other and the kidnapping of their baby. From there onward, though, they'll be introduced to a colorful cast of characters, which can all be romance for the most part.
I have a question. The only question that matters.
While synthetics, robots, and super mutants such as Nick Valentine, Codsworth, and Strong are not tagged as romance options, the player can engage in a romantic relationship with just about any other companion available in the game and define their character however they'd like. There are also a ton of mods for Fallout 4, which introduce new companions and open up unavailable characters as potential partners.
Not the Raiders, not the super mutants, not even those tools over in Diamond City.
Let's go, boy.
I will return here someday, my teacher. Promise me that you won't forget me.
Japanese RPG games are generally well known for their abundance of romance options, and Fire Emblem, Three Houses is no different in that regard. There's a whole myriad of characters who can all be romanced regardless of which gender the player chooses for their character Byleth at the beginning of the game. The romance options are based on the house the player joins, and while there are more straight options, there are still far more inclusive same-gender options in the game compared to a myriad of other adventure RPG games on the market.
The blood that flows through her veins is special, and extremely dangerous. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate to kill her.
Boyfriend Dungeon's unique combination of dating sim gameplay and dungeon crawling may falter on the latter front, but the game's inclusive romances should be praised for what they strive to achieve. Characters are a joy to interact with these personalities being the best part of the experience. The game is fairly easy to complete, making it accessible for most players. Those looking for a challenge should look elsewhere, but players who love well-written characters and fun dating sim gameplay will have a great time with Boyfriend Dungeon.
Careful, don't tickle my hilt.
A romantic visual novel game where players attend a monster high school and try to woo one of 6 romanceable characters. Monster Prom is a game with excellent writing that fans of the genre should check out. The fact that the majority of its romances are quite inclusive deserves due praise too.
Sometimes reckless, sometimes brilliant, sometimes just stupid.
The best part about Monster Prom is that it can be played as a competitive multiplayer game, which is extremely unique and totally unlike most other visual novel titles in the same vein. The game's excellent writing will keep players engaged till the very end, which is a testament to just how underrated this game is.
Ancient dark deity just to take it to prom, or you know what? At least they're having a great time.
RPGs are known for having great character stories and relationships, and Pathfinder, Kingmaker is no exception to this golden rule. This game has several characters with different sexual orientations that players can interact romantically with. The diversity of the romances in this game will please the majority of people who play this stellar title. It's great that indie gaming has allowed the CPG genre to stay relevant, since it does feature some great narrative experiences. For a while now, Supergiant Games has been at the forefront of crafting amazing narratives that blend seamlessly with the mechanics of their respective games. However, the developer never really received the attention it deserved until Hades came out. This action roguelite is a brilliant game with an amazing narrative and gorgeous visuals. The main character, Zagreus, can also engage in romances with a host of colorful characters that don't conform to the usual romantic stereotypes typically found in gaming.